By the time Leon Varga arrived for his midnight shift, the building had already paid him for surviving it. The payroll alert sat on the security monitor. Patrol complete, 11:02 p.m. to 11:41 p.m. Every checkpoint showed green. The name beside them was Leon's, and the badge number matched the card clipped to his belt. Leon stared at the clock. 11:57. "Your badge learned initiative," said Mina, the evening guard. "It was in my wallet." "Then your wallet did the stairs." The joke died when Leon opened the report. 26 checkpoints had been scanned in the correct order, down to the required pause at each fire panel. Then there was a 27th scan. Floor 27, East Core. The Halcyon Tower had 26 floors. Their supervisor blamed a database migration and told Leon to patrol normally. "Document anything strange. Don't chase software errors." That explanation lasted 7 minutes. Leon pulled the lobby footage. At 11:02, the revolving door turned, although nobody entered from the street. A man walked out from behind reception wearing Leon's uniform, Leon's boots, and Leon's badge. The man had Leon's face. Mina stopped putting on her coat. "That's tonight?" On screen, the double scanned the lobby checkpoint, looked directly into the camera, and raised one finger to his lips. Mina reached for the phone. Leon zoomed in. The pale scar through the man's left eyebrow matched his. So did the loose thread on his right cuff. The double entered the stairwell. Camera by camera, they watched him climb. At floor 12, he stopped and looked behind him, as if someone had followed through the closed fire door. His mouth moved. "Not yet." Then he continued upward. The police said they would send someone. Their supervisor ordered both guards to stay in the lobby. Their supervisor remotely revoked Leon's badge. For 10 seconds, every green checkpoint vanished. Mina exhaled and said, "There, it was a replay." On camera, the double reached floor 18 and scanned again. The door opened. Every checkpoint returned at once. Leon tested his own card on the locked supply drawer beside him. It flashed red. Credential already in use. The building had not rejected the duplicate. It had rejected Leon. At 12:16, the elevator chimed. The display showed 27. The doors opened on an empty car. 26 was still the highest button, but a wet gray footprint marked the carpet. Leon compared it to his boot. Same split tread. Same missing triangle at the heel. Mina pulled him back. "We wait." Leon noticed a folded strip of patrol paper tucked into the handrail. "Don't let it reach the lobby." The message was in his handwriting. Beneath it was a time, 12:41. 25 minutes away. Mina said the double had planted it to lure them upstairs. Leon said that meant staying might be worse. Neither could explain why the paper was warm from the printer behind them. A bang sounded above the elevator ceiling. Then another, 1 floor higher. Leon took the master keys. Mina swore, grabbed the spare radio, and followed him into the stairs. At floor 26, the top landing ended at a beige concrete wall Leon had passed hundreds of times. Tonight, a narrow metal door had been cut into it. No frame, no hinges, only a door-shaped seam and a black badge reader glowing red. "That wasn't here at 9, Mina said. Leon lifted his card. The reader flashed green before the badge touched. The door opened. Beyond it stretched an unfinished office floor larger than the tower's footprint. Emergency lights hummed over empty cubicles. Dust covered everything except one set of boot prints. Leon's prints. A checkpoint plate glinted on a pillar. 27 East Core. Its indicator was already green. Leon raised his radio. Security to control. His own voice answered from beyond the cubicles. Control copies. East Core clear. Mina dropped her radio. The voice had not come through its speaker. A figure crossed between two pillars, moving with Leon's slight limp. Stop! The figure stopped. For 3 seconds, Leon thought it would turn. Instead, it pointed toward the windows. There should have been city lights outside. The glass showed the lobby far below, not as a reflection, but as a view. The security desk was empty. The revolving door stood open. Something was approaching from the street, hidden beneath the concrete ledge. Mina checked her watch. 12:37. They ran. The impossible door slammed behind them. In the stairwell, Leon's radio crackled with his own calm voice. Floor 26 clear. Then, floor 25 clear. It was descending faster than they were. At floor 12, Leon found the fire door propped open with his own flashlight. He was still holding his flashlight. The second one had the same dent near the lens and the same inventory sticker. Its beam revealed words scratched into the paint. Not the lobby. Leon stared at the phrase. The note had not told him what to protect. It had told him where not to go. The lobby feed opened by itself on Mina's phone. Leon sat behind the security desk below. The double watched their live stairwell camera. Behind him, the revolving door slowly turned. Nothing visible passed through. The visitor counter changed from 0 to 1. We go to the roof, Mina said. Leon looked upward. The landing sign above them now read 27. The sign below read 27 too. Every floor number had changed. The radio said, "Patrol complete." The stairwell lights died. Leon grabbed Mina's hand and shoved through the nearest fire door. They expected the unfinished floor. Instead, they stumbled into the ground-level loading bay beside a driver waiting for the gate. Police arrived minutes later. The lobby was empty. The front doors were locked. The visitor counter showed 0. Footage after 12:41 was corrupted, and the 27th floor scan had vanished. Leon resigned before sunrise. For 3 weeks, that seemed like the end. Mina confirmed his story. The incident was filed as an electronic breach, and the company replaced the badge system. Then Leon received a payroll correction. The company was reclaiming 41 minutes of wages because its record showed he had left at 11:57 p.m., the moment he actually arrived. Attached was a resignation letter signed in his name. The signature was perfect. Under the formal text, someone had added one sentence in his handwriting. I accept responsibility for the occupant admitted during my patrol. Leon called Mina. She answered from the Halcyon lobby, whispering, I didn't come in tonight, she said, but I'm watching myself finish the route. Behind her, an elevator chimed. Its display showed 27. Priya Sethi heard herself declare the children's wing safe while she was still locked inside the security office. Checkpoint 1 clear, her voice said over Channel 4. Proceeding north. Priya looked at the radio, then at the clock. 2:04 a.m. Her patrol did not begin until 3. Eli, stationed in the parking garage, answered first. Priya, you sleepwalking? I'm in control. After a pause, Priya's voice returned, slightly breathless. Copy. North corridor clear. The access screen chimed. Her badge had scanned a checkpoint 6 floors above them. Eli came upstairs laughing until he saw Priya behind the locked office door, with her badge on the desk. Pediatric Bridge, 2:07 a.m. Cloned card, he said. Then why does it sound like me? Old recording. Priya wanted that answer.
The radios had been updated that afternoon. A bad file and copied credential could overlap. Then the voice said, "Eli, quit leaning on the door. You're blocking the camera." Eli stepped away. The camera was behind him. Priya keyed her radio. "Who is this?" Her own voice answered. "Officer Sethi, beginning scheduled patrol. That starts at 3. I know." Night Administrator Tom Vale arrived with a nurse named Rowan. Tom called it a prank. Rowan said she had just seen Priya outside the pediatric elevators. She asked whether 714 was occupied, Rowan said. She helped Mr. Alvarez back into bed, Rowan added. He thanked her by name. She knew which rail sticks. Eli said, "A costume can copy a face. It can't copy a shift." Priya looked at the frozen hallway image. The duplicate had not merely passed through. It had behaved like someone who belonged there. Priya raised both hands. "I haven't left." Tom checked the cameras. The hallway feed had frozen at 2:03, but the badge scan remained valid. He and Eli left to find the impersonator. The radio spoke before the elevator arrived. "Checkpoint 3 clear. Pharmacy Bridge secure." Tom raised his radio. "Unknown officer, authenticate." "Blue Lantern, 17, Priya's voice replied. "Correct." Tom's expression changed. "Priya, give me your radio." "Why?" "The system shows your badge upstairs." "So do I. But it recognizes the one upstairs." That was the first moment Priya understood the danger. The duplicate did not need to prove it was human. It only needed the hospital to decide which Priya counted. Tom reported an impersonator. Dispatch asked for the officer's location. The other Priya answered first. "Security office." "Suspect is using my name and radio."
Every receiver heard it.
Dispatch ordered staff to avoid control until identity was verified. Then the ceiling speakers clicked on. "Security notice," Priya's recorded voice announced. "Do not follow instructions from the individual in control." Rowan whispered, "It sounds exactly like you." Priya called her own phone. Someone answered. She heard footsteps, fluorescent hum, and her own breathing. Then the caller said, "Don't make them choose yet." The call ended. A new scan appeared. Room B, 714. Rowan shook her head. "That room is empty." Tom opened the bedboard. It listed one patient. Sethi, Priya. Admitted, 3:14 a.m. Status, security hold. It was 2:14. The record had no birth date or doctor. Only a discharge condition. Release when second voice ceases. Channel 4 clicked. "B714 secure," the other Priya said. "Patient not yet present." The hospital's overnight patrol did more than document doors. Completing it told the automation system that corridors were staffed, pharmacy shutters lifted, service elevators unlocked. Isolation doors changed from night seal to monitored access. The duplicate was clearing the hospital an hour early. Tom tried to cancel the patrol. The system rejected him. Officer active in field. Priya removed her radio battery. Her voice continued through the speakers. "West isolation clear." A warning flashed. The west isolation doors had unlocked. Rowan ran to evacuate the ward. Eli followed. Tom stayed to force a shutdown.
while Priya took the analog master key and headed for B714. She did not know whether the room was a trap. She only knew the duplicate had named it first.
At the 7th floor junction, Rowan stood behind a locked fire door. "Priya," she called. "Which one are you?" Through the wired glass, Priya saw why. At the far end of Rowan's corridor stood another officer in navy blue. Same height, same braid, same face. The other Priya held an empty wheelchair. It lifted its radio. "Rowan, don't open the door!" The words came from Priya's speaker and from the woman down the hall at the same time. Rowan began to cry. "Tell me something only you know." Priya could name Rowan's children from the staff directory, the joke she had made 10 minutes earlier, the stain on her shoe. The duplicate might know all of it. So Priya did not try to prove herself. "Don't choose," she said. "Lock both sides." Rowan stared at her. "Pull the manual alarm. Evacuate everyone. Trust the action, not the voice." Rowan hit the alarm. Sirens drowned Channel 4. Magnetic doors released. Staff began moving patients toward the east exits. The double turned the wheelchair around and walked calmly toward B714. Priya followed. Inside, the bed was neatly made. The monitor showed a pulse of 82. Priya's pulse, measured by the hospital band on her wrist. The double stood beside the bed. "Why are you doing the patrol?" Priya asked. "To make the building ready." "For what?" The double looked at the empty bed. "For the officer who arrives at 3. The clock changed to 2:59. Priya's radio battery was downstairs, but her voice whispered from the room speaker. "Patrol beginning." The monitor pulse climbed. Priya smashed the speaker with the master key. The double flinched as if struck. For the first time, it looked afraid. Then the lights failed. When emergency power returned, Priya was alone. At 3:14, the bedboard marked her discharged. The evacuation prevented injuries, and Tom's shutdown stopped the early patrol. The hospital called it a coordinated cyber attack. Priya quit. Rowan refused to discuss the woman with the wheelchair. Months later, an investigator sent Priya the emergency audio. He wanted to know why her first transmission began at 2:04. Priya said it had not been her. "No," he replied. "I mean the earlier one." There was a call stamped 1:04 a.m., 1 hour before the voice they heard. It was faint beneath another channel. Priya listened through headphones. Her own voice was crying. "Checkpoint 1 clear," it whispered. "Please don't answer me this time." In the background, the hospital fire alarm was already ringing. Darius Cole watched himself erase the only proof that he was still inside the mall. On monitor 12, another Darius stood beneath the west atrium camera at 1:48 a.m. He wore the same gray jacket and radio cord. The man raised a maintenance pole. Monitor 12 went black. Then camera 19, 21, 24. "He's building a blind route," said Naya, the trainee beside Darius. It curved from security to the west loading dock. Darius checked his badge, still clipped to his belt. His patrol was scheduled for 2:45, yet every checkpoint along that path showed complete under his name. Naya suggested recorded footage, a twin, prosthetics. Darius accepted each explanation, until the double turned sideways. Its right knee stiffened exactly like his. Darius had torn that ligament in high school.
It was not in his file. "Lock the dock."
Naya sealed the rolling door and steel gate.
The double arrived seconds later and scanned Darius's badge. Both locks opened. Before disabling the final camera, the other Darius wrote across its lens, "Don't record it." The screen went dark. The dock's floor scale registered 138 kilograms, crossing the threshold. The occupancy counter changed from 0 to 1. No forced entry alarm sounded. Instead, the system displayed, "Visitor admitted. Escort, Officer Cole." Lights came on inside a closed shoe store. Its gate lifted. The store counter changed from 0 to 1, held for 11 seconds, then returned to 0. The next store did the same. Something was moving toward the atrium. Naya restored a camera outside the shoe store. "The message said not to," Darius warned. "The man who wrote it let that thing in."
Then the image compressed around a person-sized space, as if the camera could not decide what belonged there. Advertising screens blinked off as it passed. Behind it, the other Darius ran into view. He was not escorting the visitor. He was fleeing it. The duplicate looked into the camera and shouted. There was no audio, but Darius understood the first word. "Turn." The feed went white. Every employee photo in the access system changed to Darius's face. Cashiers, managers, Nia. 5 seconds later, the photos returned to normal, except Nia's. Her profile still showed Darius. A voice came through the mall speakers, Nia's voice. "Security escort proceeding to Central Atrium." Nia had never recorded it. The visitor was no longer only using Darius's clearance. It had noticed her. Darius shut down the network. The monitors died, but battery door controllers kept clicking open. They entered the mall with flashlights and mechanical keys. Dark camera domes marked the blind route overhead. Darius had assumed the duplicate built it for the intruder. Now he wondered whether it was shelter from the intruder. At the fountain, his double waded across the empty atrium. The double removed its badge and slid it over the tile. A message appeared on Darius's radio from his own employee account. "It needs one of us to be official," Naya whispered. "Which one sent that?" Neither Darius answered. Only one atrium camera remained active. Its motor turned between the identical men. Darius's radio flashed. "Duplicate credential detected. Resolve identity." The camera centered on the double. The badge lying between them vanished. The double looked down, startled. Intertwined. Darius's radio updated. "One valid officer." Relief lasted less than a breath. The camera rotated toward him. Behind Darius, a wet footprint appeared on the tile, then another, smooth ovals with no heel or toes, pressed into dust that had not been visible before. The visitor was walking toward whichever Darius the camera selected. The double ran for the maintenance corridor. The footprints followed. "He's drawing it away," Naya said. Then Darius received another message. "Don't let me reach control." The duplicate was not escaping. It was following the patrol backward toward the room that could register him permanently. Darius and Naya cut through a department store to intercept. Gates opened ahead of the unseen visitor. Mirrors fogged in a moving line behind the duplicate. At the final junction, the double reached the security door and scanned his badge. Rejected. He sagged with relief. Then the door unlocked for Darius, 30 feet away. The system could no longer tell which body carried the valid credential. The unseen footprints stopped between them. Naya pulled the manual fire lever. Sirens sounded, shutters dropped, and the security door began closing. The double slipped through into control. Darius shoved Naya beneath the descending shutter. "Get outside!" "What about you?" "If the system needs one official guard, I'm revoking both." He rolled under before she could stop him. Inside control, the duplicate stood at the console. Darius's profile showed 2 live face matches and 1 badge. The occupancy panel read, "Registered, 2. Unregistered, 1. The invisible visitor entered. Both versions of Darius looked toward the same empty corner. The duplicate reached for primary. Darius reached for the emergency wipe.
"If you erase us, it stays unregistered," the double said. "That's the idea. No. That means it never has to leave." Darius froze. The visitor had not entered to steal a name. It had entered because the completed patrol certified the building empty. The duplicate was trying to give it an identity so the system could count it, track it, and record an exit. The blind route had not helped the visitor hide. It had kept the cameras from fixing it into someone's identity too soon. Outside, Naya pounded on the shutter. The counter changed. Registered, 1. Unregistered, 1. The duplicate began disappearing from the employee directory. It looked at Darius. "Your patrol starts in 6 minutes." Every disabled camera came online. On each screen, Darius saw himself walking the blind route 1 hour earlier. Not the duplicate. Him. He understood what the next 6 minutes required. Darius opened the loading dock, raised the gates, and began disabling cameras in the exact order he had watched. Naya saw him once through the glass as police entered. He raised one finger to his lips, then vanished into the blind corridor. They never found him. The mall reopened after a 2-day systems audit. Management blamed storm damage. Naya resigned and gave police a hand-drawn map of every place the unseen counter had paused. An investigator overlaid it with the construction plans. The route formed no symbol and led to no hidden room. It simply touched every zone required for the software to certify the mall empty. He checked other properties using the same security platform. At 1:48 a.m. local time, 83 malls had recorded completed patrols by guards who had not started work yet. In 79, the visitor count returned to 0 before opening. In 4, it did not. Those 4 malls opened to the public anyway.